Broader market correlation is more apparent than ever, which naturally puts some pressures to the bull case in the short-term time. We can consider Fed Chair Powell's word to be either our saving grace or imminent demise. Let's review the short-term charts for an edge over tomorrow's session. Welcome back on this Thursday. This is ARCa, and let's dive into ticker symbol COSM. Let's kill 'em, team. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again. This is ARCa coming at you with COSM. We want to go ahead and go over a couple things, but I would like to show you this first, right? You can consider it a tiny little bit of shill, but it's all good because I am noticing something very interesting here. So this is the ARQ composure algorithm that has recently been released as a pre-order item. Please notice here that on the 5-minute time frame, this yellow X is representative of manipulation in the markets. Yes, you are hearing it right. This indicator is able to tell you when the markets are being manipulated. So please notice that usually when we get this yellow cross, that usually can be taken as a bearish signal. Now, manipulation can happen both to the upside and to the downside. So you can see here we got that print on that 5-minute candle. Price action essentially capitulated after that. And one more right down here, middle of the day today, closer to the morning session in the quiet period, right around 9 a.m. Please take a look at that X right here. Huge capitulation right after it, and then immediate recovery. So what we're noticing here is these blue triangles. So the blue triangles usually suggest that the current trend, being this downtrend, is over, and we could be observing or preparing for a continuation to the upside. The yellow triangle is indicative of the EMA 2 crossing upside of the EMA 8 exponential moving averages, right? So that is looking good for the immediate short term, but I really wanted to present this to you first. So if you are interested in acquiring the pre-orders, please go ahead and get in touch with us at that email from the introduction, arqindicators@gmail.com. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on and quit the shilling here. So let's just go ahead and see the broader market. So what you're looking at here is the iShares Russell 2000 ETF spot price action versus the E-mini Russell 2000 Index future contracts. So what you're looking at here is immediate pressure to the downside based on a broader market perspective. The SPY, the NAS, we're talking about the VIX, the IWM, right? We have the Russell futures contracts. Everything was bleeding today, and you can finally see that COSM has been literally reactive towards that downside as well. Even that little tiny pump to the upside that we got, the COSM ended up getting that as well. Okay, team. So what I am noticing here is that while we are falling in price action, there is also a decline in volume, which usually is indicative of a potential upside coming in. But of course, I can't really trust that, seeing that we have Fed Chair Powell speaking tomorrow. So that is naturally going to give us a lot of market volatility, and usually it's recommended to remain cash during these macroeconomic events, as the easier trade would usually be presented after the Fed speaks or after we get macroeconomic data releases. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next chart and see what we have, right? We already observed the composure algorithm, and actually, you know what? We can take a look at the ARQ DBSI as well. And please notice that on the 5-minute time frame, the bulls are actually at 92% leading. So the way that this strength indicator is presented is that the indicator takes a statistical metric of every single candle printed upside of the EMA 13, represented by this white line, versus the candles that are below the EMA 13, so of whatever time frame you're in. So it takes a relative time frame or enough information to gather its relative strength period, and that displays right up here. And this is how it's able to tell you that right now the 5-minute time frame is showing that the bulls are in control by absolution. So it's looking very nice here in that immediate short. So let's go ahead and continue here and see what else we have. So as you can see, this candle here, this is the daily candle representing today's price action. Okay, so the low of the candle came down to 116, which is right about here. Right. So it's what I'm saying here is that this the price is essentially following our projections. Okay, so it is in a sense bearish while the short term is showing some potential upside. But if I'm going to be very clear about that, I think that there could, let me see what the after hours is looking like. So 122. Okay, so it closed at the same place that the traditional market closed at 122. So what I'm looking at here is a potential lift to, I would say, anywhere. I can give you a target, right? Anywhere upside of this area here, 124 to potentially 125, we can face a resistance, right? So this would be the earliest zone. Now the next obvious area would actually be right back up here, right at this 128 junction. Okay, so that would be in respects to breaking down from the ascending triangle and validating the resistance before a continuation to the downside. So the target that you're seeing here of a potential 97.63 is represented by this target here. So we can take that trend line or a trend line, right, from the top side of the trend all the way to the bottom side of the trend at the beginning of the triangle, and then you apply it to the breakout candle. So that is what it's telling us, that there could be a possibility of hitting that 97.63. Of course, there are other metrics to take into account. For example, here, the center of the triangle. This is where the price action ended up breaking out, so we can naturally apply it to that zone there too. And it's telling us that we could be facing oh, right. Sorry. Let me just go ahead and adjust this. That's extend on. There we go. That is giving us a target of about 108, which naturally would tell us that this is a range between the low of 108 and the current all-time low of 111, which was just printed on August 7th this year. Okay, so yes, those are the targets that we can be looking at here. But like I said, there could be a short-term opportunity here, and then it looks like we would essentially face the higher probability resistance at around that 128 before a continuation to the downside. So I would express immediate danger here, seeing that we are facing some pressures from tomorrow's economic report. Okay, so please keep your eyes on that, right? So seeing that the COSM asset is in a sense running in sympathy to the broader markets, if Fed Chair Powell says something bullish, then the COSM asset would likely react to that as well. Okay, so please remember the yesterday's announcement regarding the potential RS is in proposal, and it is not an actual true statement just yet. I do believe that there could be shareholder approval still in hand, although that the board already chose to do so, right? Other than that, yeah, there's still other metrics to follow and other steps in the process in order to validate such moves. Okay, hey buddy, that is actually the little co-host right now saying hello to us, right? My son. So if he does say hello, just don't mind the little guy. He's just hanging out here with daddy. All right, so let's go ahead and continue on the analysis here. So this is the weekly time frame of COSM, and it's riding a bullish formation, right? But bullish relative to the weekly time frame. It could take some time for this to realize its top side. So what I'm looking at here is consolidation, which would naturally be a break of this market structure, and it could be the fact that it's preparing something. I'm not sure what it is preparing, but just know that it is something, and we'll evaluate that as time goes. It's just tomorrow is a real gamble. There's no way we can determine what the Fed is going to say. We are not here to guess what they're going to say. We are here to prepare our edge for any given circumstance. Okay, so what I'm looking at here is actually a high probability that we can actually face either a double bottom or face a falling wedge, so which would naturally introduce a lower low being that 97 that we spoke of. So that would be actually a bullish formation that can lead to an upside. However, the upside would be relatively small, literally to recover to around that area of around 159 after a couple weeks. Okay, so let's just observe price action there and we will be okay. All right, so now regarding this that I was talking to you about in this chart here, I want to make sure that this was the chart. I think it was actually, yeah, I'm sorry, this one here, where we were giving that projection for the 97-cent bottom, the 97.63. If we zoom out here, you'll remember exactly what we're looking at. So this is the breakout that we're making from this macro scale daily descending broadening wedge. And we're getting, I mean, if we do get that downside that I'm talking about to 97 cents, that would actually be a retest of the newly converted resistance into a support from the broadening descending wedge. So that would be pretty nice. Okay, no, buddy, don't touch those. That's definitely what Daddy's speaking through right now. All right, buddy. This guy's about to disconnect the whole damn game over here. Careful, okay? Be nice. Be nice. This guy's about to start connecting things into jacks. All right, so, yeah, sorry, team. I'm just over here like I'm like worried what he's about to connect. All right, anyway, so let's go ahead and move on to the last part of the analysis here and see what the RSI has in line for us, right? So you can see right over here that we have the 30-minute time frame, or that's actually the 5-minute, sorry. The 30-minute time frame is showing us some consolidation. If you have seen any of the other videos I've put out today, you will naturally hear me say this over and over, right? It's these the price action and momentum oscillators usually balance out to this. Careful, baby, don't touch that. Okay, that's definitely you'll blow out the people's ears here. Okay, so I'm saying that this is usual for macroeconomic events, be it CPI, Fed, Fed Chair Powell, or what else could it be? Minutes, right? PPE, CPI, all that good stuff. So what you're looking at here is essentially consolidation, and it's showing on the bi-hourly time frame, the 30-minute time frame. We're also showing a little bit of a downside here, but very, very slow within the 4-hour time frame. It is showing us a little bit of pressure towards that downside. We can't take this enormously serious just yet, because this would essentially have a support right from the gravitational zone of the bear strength percentile. So we still have that to evaluate. Notice that the 8-hour time frame is indicative of a potential upside with a resistance there, but this would essentially change if the shorter time frame starts showing a favor towards an upside or downside. This will be reactive to that. Okay, now the 12-hour time frame is suggesting some consolidation as well. The RSI signal is sitting within the gravitational zone of the bear strength, which could, in essence, push us to the upside, but we would have to wait. Now, the daily time frame is at a very curious support right now. That support might as well be an indecision candle, because the gravitational zone of the bear strength percentile would essentially push the RSI or pull the RSI signal down. But we also have that support from the SMA 14, hence the indecision. So yeah, everything here is indicative of potential short-term downside or sideways trading. Okay, so the easier trade would naturally be presented after the economic reports. So it's advised to maybe consider staying cash for these types of events. Okay, team. So I think that's about as far as we can take the analysis here. So if there are any questions or concerns, definitely consider reaching out to me. You know where to reach me. Okay, team. So please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I'll catch you mañana. I'll catch you at the bell. Consider it 6:30 a.m. Peace, team. Adios. Yeah.